Okay, so let's start with some mindfulness as usual. So laying back comfortably, closing your eyes, and just beginning to follow your breathing. And now we'll begin to deepen the breath. So inhale, belly, ribs, and upper chest, and then exhale, reverse that. And then we layer on the Ujjayi sound, the ocean sound on top of that. So it's like fogging a mirror with your mouth closed. All right, so we're doing some twists today, and the peak posture today is working up toward a twist where our legs are in what's called an eagle position, a Garudasana. So we'll start with that, as we often do in this class. I like to kind of preview some of the harder things that we're going to do in a more relaxed and easy setting. So let's just begin by pulling let's pull both legs in. Pull both legs in, just give them a squeeze, move around a little bit. This is called the leg cradle. You can also get your back a little bit here. I'm definitely feeling my back as I move around a little bit. So again, just noticing what you feel. Is there any pain or discomfort, or does your body feel kind of dull or lifeless, or does it feel energized, feel really good? All right, so the twist we'll do is, we do it in yin a lot. We call it twisted roots in yin. So the right leg, the right knee goes over the left. Now you don't have to lock your ankles, okay, but you can. So that's an option. I like to do that. And then we drop the knees to the left as we look to the right. Okay, so as you do this, just notice what you feel. So I'm feeling a lot of sensation in my back, a little bit in my waist, so my low back here. I'm also feeling stretching up here in the shoulder. So what that's doing is it's just telling us sort of where the restrictions are in our body. And then what we'd like to do is continue with the slow, deep breathing. And as you take several breaths here, you might feel your body actually go deeper into the posture as your nervous system begins to relax. Okay, good. Let's come back through center. We'll switch or reverse the cross of the legs and then take them off to the other side here. Now again, this is previewing something we will do later in the class. So it will only get more challenging or more difficult. Most people don't find this very challenging, so I'm not suggesting that you should. But if you are having any trouble here, you again may want to take note of it and then see how you might try and mitigate any problems that you might be having here, any trouble that you might be having. Okay, good. Let's inhale. We'll bring those knees back through center. And let's rock and roll up to seated. From there, we come forward to a tabletop, so hands and knees, and we warm up the spine with a little cat-cow. So tailbone lifts, belly drops, crown of the head up on the inhale. Exhale, tuck tailbone, round the back, crown of the head down. Okay, from there we come back to neutral, and then tucking toes, we come into the down dog. And in down dog, focus on toes, feet, ankles, and knees. And then once you've stretched out, take a few breaths in relative stillness in your down dog. With our exhale, let's walk the feet to the hands, coming into ragdoll. And then you can grab the opposite elbow there. Ragdoll is a really good way to kind of assess what is happening on the backside of your body. So if you have injuries or pain or something else, usually it becomes apparent there. And then with the arms relaxed, we can inhale and come up to stand. Okay, now we enter the next phase of our practice, which is the sun salutation, which helps to raise core body temperature. That helps with things like flexibility and strength. It also helps us detox the body. It's a very important part in yoga. It's called Shak Karma. And so there are various practices that are done in yoga to help purify, get rid of toxins, things like that. And it actually can be a very important part of experiencing the full benefits of what yoga can do for you. So again, at the end of the 3 rounds, ideally we have a little bit of sweat, a little sheen of sweat, like on your brow or something like that. That would be perfect. Okay, inhale, arms up. Coming into the standing back bend for a breath or 2. Then inhale through center and exhale to forward fold. Place the palms flat, bend the knees, let the neck relax. On the inhale, we come to fingertips or take hands to shins, lengthening the spine. And exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot and then the left to the top of a push-up. From the top of your push-up, take a deep breath, and as you exhale, just drop the knees and come down halfway. Take a breath there. And then as you exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Bring your legs together, gently press the feet into the mat, and then inhale, lift your head, neck, chest, and hands. Good. On the exhale, we come back down, and then inhale, tabletop, and exhale, downward dog. . Okay, from the down dog, let's inhale to our toes, fill the lungs, exhale to the front edge of the mat. Inhale to standing back bend, up and back. And then we grab the right wrist and exhale, pull ourselves over to the left, stretching the right side of our body. Let's inhale back through center, switch wrists, and we exhale to the other side. Good, inhale back to center, and exhale to forward fold. Let's inhale to half lift, and exhale, step the left foot and then the right to the top of a push-up for plank pose. Okay, so knees up or down is your call. Take a deep breath, exhale halfway down. Take a breath there. And then exhale all the way to your belly. Okay, this time using the hands, inhale, come up, head, neck, chest, abdomen, lift, but let's keep the pelvis firmly planted on the ground. Good, exhale, come on down. Inhale, top of the push-up, and exhale back to downward facing dog. From downward dog, let's inhale to the toes, fill the lungs, and exhale to the front edge of your mat. Inhale to standing back bend, up and back. And then exhale, stretch the right side of your body. Inhale to center, stretch the left side. Inhale to center, and exhale, sitting back into an imaginary seat for chair pose. So as most of you have heard me say in the past, there are basically two categories of yoga postures, and some are both categories. So stretching and strengthening. Stretching postures, generally speaking, the longer you're there, the more relaxed you feel. Strengthening postures is almost the opposite. The longer you're there, the harder it feels, the more difficult it feels. You might feel more and more anxious. So we want to be able to deal with and stay present with both types of experience. We want to do relaxing things without getting bored, and we want to do challenging things without getting anxious. So this is a challenging strength posture. So you want to notice, am I getting anxious? Am I getting worried about when we're coming out of this? Am I breathing really fast or heavy? Try and notice, okay? All right, inhale, standing back bend, up and back. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale to the half lift. And exhale, if you can, right to the bottom of your push-up. Inhale, upward dog. So arms and legs are straight, knees are off the ground this time. And then exhale, do a push-up on your way back to down dog. So again, pretty much, at least in the summertime, winter might get a little cool in here, but in summer, every time guaranteed I have a little bit of sweat right after doing the sun salutations. And again, that's exactly what we want. Okay. All right. So let's get into our practice here. Feet touching. We'll inhale the right leg up and back. Okay. And then we exhale, lunge. And then we inhale into a warrior two. So in warrior two, you'd like your front foot and knee pointing straight ahead, the knee lunging over the heel, the thigh approaching parallel. The front foot intersects the back foot at the heel of the arch. The back foot is firmly planted, and those toes can point straight to the left or angle in slightly. This leg is straight. The pelvis and the chest face the left wall, and the arms are parallel with the ground. Notice my shoulders are directly over my hips, so I'm not leaning this way. I'm also not leaning forward at all. Okay, so just directly stacking those over. Gaze is over the front fingertips. Okay, and that's the warrior two shape. From here, let's inhale up to stupa, very common transition that we do, and then we exhale to warrior two at the back. Good, let's do that again. Inhale up, stupa, and exhale, warrior two at the front. Couple more, inhale up, and exhale, warrior two at the back. And inhale, and exhale, warrior two at the front. Good, inhale to reverse or peaceful warrior. Okay, so this is Parsva Virabhadrasana. So this hand can rest here on this leg. Some people like to reach up and actually take themselves a little further. Others like to reach around and grab the opposite thigh. So those are all perfectly fine by me, whichever one feels most effective for you. Remember, you're looking up and you're rolling this arm back, okay, the shoulder back, because the tendency is to do that, to sort of lean forward as you go back, okay? So just be aware of that. And then let's inhale back up, warrior two, and exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up. Okay, side two, feet touch. Inhale, left leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, lunge, and inhale to Virabhadrasana 2 on the other side. So warrior two is a great example of strengthening and stretching combined. The strength areas are here, the front thigh, the arms as well. Those are getting fatigued as we hold this. And then this back hip is getting a little bit of stretching happening as well. So a lot of standing postures are, a lot of them are strength primarily with a little bit of stretch added in, which is why they tend to be a little more intense than floor postures, because on the floor we can just kind of use gravity, right? We can lean on the floor. We don't have to use our muscles. But this posture, if we were to relax, we would come out of it immediately. We'd fall down, right? Okay, let's inhale up, stupa. We exhale to warrior two at the back. Make sure you feel the legs as you come into it. Inhale up, and then again, feel the legs, one stretching, one strengthening. A couple more times, inhale up and work those legs. Inhale, and one more last time. Good. And then let's inhale up to reverse or peaceful warrior. Again, you can experiment with the arm position. Once you find something that works, I would just stay with it for at least a few breaths. Good. We inhale back up and exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of your push-up. Make your way back to downward dog. Okay, let's take a look at Pavrita Utkatasana, which is a rotated chair pose. Inhale to your toes, exhale to the front edge of the mat. Let's inhale up to standing, and as we exhale, we'll come into a chair and just twist open to the right side. Good, so you're looking back and reaching back. Let's inhale up and do the same on the left side. So left hip forward, left shoulder back, right? Good, let's inhale back up again. And then this time we exhale and take the elbow over the knee. So we're going a little bit further, a little deeper. Okay, now notice my palm is between my elbows, right? Directly between my elbows. Dropping my hips down. I'm extending through the crown of my head and then I'm looking up. So it's a pretty deep twist. And then once I'm there, I really want to focus on slow, deep, rhythmic breathing. Good. Inhale, let's come on up. Deep breath in, fill those lungs, and then exhale, take it off to the other side. Good. Inhale, let's come all the way back up. And exhale to forward fold. So inhale to half lift and exhale to the bottom of your push-up. Just make your way back to down dog. All right, very good. So let's continue now. Feet touch. We inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. We inhale again to a warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. And from our warrior two, let's inhale up to stupa. We exhale to warrior two. Inhale to reverse warrior. And then exhale to warrior two. Inhale up to stupa. Exhale to warrior two. Let's inhale to reverse warrior. And then this time we exhale to extended side angle. Okay. So my heel is reaching away from my fingertips. Again, I'm looking up and rolling my left shoulder back. Okay. And everything is stacked up here. Okay. And that's again Parsvakonasana, extended side angle. From here, if I want, I can try binding this leg. So I reach underneath it, I reach back, I grab the wrist or fingers, and again, I roll this left shoulder back. And so that intensifies both the strength and the stretch in this posture. So it challenges both flexibility and strength. Okay, from there, let's inhale back up, warrior two, and exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up, making your way back to down dog. Okay, side two, feet touch. We inhale left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. And we inhale to our warrior two. Good. Take a breath. And then inhale to stupa. Exhale, warrior two at the back. And inhale, reverse or peaceful warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Good. Inhale, stupa. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse or peaceful warrior. And exhale to the extended side angle. So you might need to adjust your legs. That's perfectly fine. Again, looking up, rolling the shoulder back. And again, possibly binding if that makes sense for your body type. Good. Release the bind. If you have it, inhale back, warrior two, and exhale, cartwheel down. Bottom of your push-up, make your way back to downward dog. Okay, let's look at the eagle, which is the basis for today's work. We inhale to the toes, exhale to the front edge of the mat. Inhale to standing back bend. And then exhale, bend your knees like chair pose and just sweep your right elbow under your left. And you can either grab shoulders or palms in front of your face. And then inhale, right knee over left. Once again, those toes do not need to lock, right? You could have it like this. You can put the toes on the ground, but you can also wrap the toes if you'd like. Now, once you're here, you want to drop those hips down. So square the hips to the front and drop them down. And very important, you're trying to draw your elbows down, but not fold in half. Okay, so I see this a lot in class, in person. People are trying to fold in half. Maybe that's a technique that they learned from another teacher, but that's not what I'm intending when we're doing this posture. So let's not do that. Just keep those shoulders back and drop down without folding in half. Okay, inhale, unwrapping everything, and then exhale, we do the other side. So left under right, and then inhale left over right. Square the hips, and then drop into your pose. Good. Inhale, let's unwrap everything. Deep breath in, and exhale, forward fold, empty the lungs. Okay, once you're down, make your way back to the downward facing dog. And then let's do another flow here. From the downward dog, we bring the feet to touch. Inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge, and then inhale to warrior two once again. From there, exhale completely, and then inhale up to stupa. Exhale to warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior, and exhale to warrior two. Inhale up to stupa, and again, exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extend. Inhale, reverse. And then this time, exhale, hands to the heart. I'm going to turn just for the camera. Hands to the heart. Pivot the back heel up. So now it's like a crescent lunge, essentially, in terms of the hips and the legs. And then we take that left elbow over our right thigh, like we did in that chair pose earlier. Okay, so same principle. The hands are between the elbows. I'm pressing that shoulder back. I'm looking up. And once again, if you've got long limbs, you might be able to bind the leg here. I can't, but you're welcome to try that. That's going to challenge your flexibility. Okay, so if that's where you want to work, then you can try binding. You could also use a strap to do that. And then if you want to work on strength more, then there's an arm balance you can access from this position called Ekapada Kondyanasana the second. So hands to the ground, rest the leg on the arm, look up, and then lift both legs up. Okay, so that's Ekapada Kondyanasana 2. From there, you can make your way to the bottom of your push-up and make your way back to the downward dog. Okay, and we'll do the other side. Okay, from our down dog, we inhale left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge, and we inhale to warrior two. Good. Inhale up to stupa. We exhale to warrior two facing back. Inhale, reverse or peaceful warrior. And exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, stupa. And exhale, warrior two facing front. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. And then this time, exhale, hands to heart. Pivot the back heel, square the hips, and take the right elbow over the left thigh. Now, once again, you could stay there. You can bind for flexibility, or you can drop to your hands for the arm balance. Okay, good. From there, just make your way back to the downward facing dog. Again, don't think you have to be able to actually do the arm balance to try it. The way our bodies adapt and learn to do things is by failure. So if you watch a baby learn to walk, how does it learn? Does it learn to walk because you explain it? No. Does it learn to walk perfectly the first time. No, it falls, it trips, it fails essentially to walk so that it can eventually learn how to walk. So as adults, we forget this and we try and do everything perfectly the first time. It's just not possible, not when it comes to our body. So you have to be willing to try something over and over, to fail over and over before your body will adapt. Your body over time will say, okay, we're trying to do this. And so it will build the strength and flexibility needed over time, but only by you trying and failing, okay? All right, so let's make our way back to our downward dog. And then from there, let's go ahead and let's see. Okay, so go ahead and come on down to a seat or squat, and let's take a look at our, oh no, we have one more balance pose to do, sorry. So from down dog, we inhale to the toes and exhale to the front edge of the mat, okay? Inhale up to standing. And then this time, exhale, hands to the heart, bend the knees. And then let's inhale the right knee over the left, wrap the toes, and exhale to the right. So this is a combination of the eagle and the rotated chair pose. So we did both of those earlier. And now we're essentially trying to marry them together into one pose. All right, let's inhale back up. And same thing, bend those knees, hands to heart, inhale the left over the right, and exhale, twist. Okay, so I don't know why, but once you put the legs in that position, it becomes quite a bit more challenging. So just keep that in mind if you're struggling with that, if it's difficult. It's quite a bit more challenging, so don't feel bad or put off by that. A challenge is good for us. We want to be challenged in our practice. Okay, so now with that out of the way, let's grab a seat and we'll see if we can use that as the jumping off point for something more, but we will start with the side crow, okay? So I'm actually going to break it down a bit. The first and easiest version of side crow is where we have 2 points of contact on the leg, okay? So again, even if you've never been able to do this before, let's just see if we can do it together. We take one elbow to the knee. We take the other elbow to the hip. Okay, so my hands are essentially like this. And you'll notice they're about shoulder width and my fingers are facing forward. If I turn sideways, you'll see that my arms are bent, right? And that's exactly what I want. So what I'd like to do is bring those bent arms. I don't want to change anything. Essentially want to bring them to the ground. So I do that by almost like a controlled fall. Now I want to look up, so I can look sideways or I can look straight ahead. Either way is fine. And what I'd like to do is just very gradually bring my face closer and closer to the ground until, do you see what happened with my feet? Just watch my feet for a second. They just lift up on their own, right? So you'll notice I'm not jumping or hopping or doing anything like that. I'm just shifting weight forward. As I do, my face does get closer to the ground. And I think that's what scares a lot of people, is they're afraid they're going to face plant. And indeed, that is a possibility, okay? But usually it's not really that big a deal, actually. You could put a block or a blanket in front of you if you want, or a pillow or something like that. If you're really terrified about that, add a little bit of cushioning. But the challenge for people is that right before you balance, right before you would go into a face plant. So you have to be willing to risk the face plant in order to actually find balance, because otherwise they'll just be weight pulling you backward, okay? So this is a stage 1 side crow. Let's try it on the other side. So again, 2 points of contact, shoulder width, fingers forward, gaze up, arms bent, and I just shift weight. Once my feet lift, I can lift them up, okay? And so that's Parsva Bakasana side crow. It's actually a little bit of a cheat, so just know that. I'll show you the full version next, okay? So the full version, a little bit easier in terms of flexibility, a little bit harder in terms of strength, okay? How does that look? Well, I take one elbow and place it on the knee, and the other elbow is actually in the air. It's freestanding, so there's nothing supporting my hip, which means my core and my shoulders need to stabilize everything, okay? So I come to the ground like that. Again, nothing touching my hip. My hip is free in the air. I look up, not down. And same principle, I just slowly shift weight forward until my feet lift. I'll do that from the side, okay? Slowly shift weight forward until my feet lift, and then I can lift them up. I'll do it from one other angle so you can kind of see how it looks from every angle, okay? Looks like that. Again, notice my hip it's floating in the air, right? Nothing is touching that elbow. Let's try that on the other side. And again, just try it. Just see what happens. What happens when you try, okay? Does your arm buckle under the weight? Does your hip start to feel like it's not stable? Do you get afraid? Emotions stop you. Just allow yourself to notice what happens, okay? And if you're able to do it, see if you can get in a few breaths rather than just come, right out of it immediately. Turn it into a little meditation, a little mindfulness practice, okay? Okay, so that is the side crow, Parsvabhakasana. And then what we're actually trying to work up toward is combining the eagle with side crow, okay? So if you're ready for that, if you're not ready, you can keep working on either side crow. So see if you can get one of those down pat, okay? So if we're ready for the next step, it looks like this. We inhale up, and again, exhale, hands to heart, bend the knees, and then inhale the right knee over the left. Exhale, take the twist. Inhale, open the arms, and then same principle. Hands to the ground, shoulder width, elbows bent, legs rest on the arms, and then I let the legs lift. Now again, same thing here as what I said earlier. For some reason, once the legs are in that position, it becomes quite a bit more challenging. I'm not sure exactly why. I think because you have to go deeper into the twist. But whatever the reason, it's good to be challenged again. So for someone like me, where side crow is pretty easy, then this posture adds quite a bit of challenge to that. Let's try the other side. So we inhale up, and then exhale, bend those knees, and then inhale, left over right, and we exhale, twist, and then inhale, open those arms, and then from there, we can explore doing the side eagle, Parsva Garudasana, looks like that. So my legs are twisted up like a pretzel. I'm resting on one arm. So again, that cheat, the first side crow, the kind of cheating side crow, that doesn't work with this posture. We have to be able to have the hip free, okay? All right, good job, everybody. Let's go ahead and relax on our belly. Right hand over the left hand and forehead on the back of the hands. And then let's do a very simple back bend, locust shalabhasana. Okay, so inhale, lifting everything up. Good. Exhale, coming down, left hand over the right hand, forehead on the back of the hands. Take a breath. From there, let's press back to child pose as a counter stretch. And then coming up for gate posture. So standing on your knees, facing the long side of your mat. Let's take the left leg straight out to the left, toes pointing up. We inhale the right arm up and exhale up and over, looking up again, rolling the shoulder back. Good. Inhale, let's come back through center and we take it over to the other side. Gate, Parigasana. Good. Inhale, let's come on back and exhale to Vajrasana, sitting on your heels. From there, let's come up in preparation for the camel, Ustrasana. Knees and feet at least hip distance, maybe slightly wider. You can tuck the toes, lifting those heels, making them easier to grab if you like. Pinkies touch, elbows in towards one another. Let's inhale, lift the heart, and exhale as we begin going back. And you can grab heels, you can let your chin drop back, but keep your hips pressed forward and your heart lifting. Good. Inhale, come on up. And exhale back to Vajrasana, sitting on the heels. Good. Sasangasana is next, the rabbit. So grabbing the heels, take a deep breath. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the back. Bring your forehead as close to your knees as you can. Grabbing your heels, inhale, lift the hips up until the arms are straight. Good. Exhale, the hips come back down. Inhale, rolling back up to seated. From there, lift the hips, cross the ankles, and roll over them. Take the legs straight out in front of you. Bending the right knee, place the foot on the ground, cross it over the left leg. Take the left foot back towards the right hip. Inhale, sit tall and extend the right arm up. Exhale, that hand behind you like a kickstand. Inhale the left arm up and exhale the elbow over the knee. Inhale, sit tall, and exhale as you look back over your right shoulder. Good. Inhale, let's come on back to center. And exhale as we extend those legs. Take the left leg in, cross it over the right. Take the right foot back towards the left hip. Inhale, sit tall, extend the left arm up. Exhale that hand behind you. Inhale the right arm up and exhale the elbow over the knee. Inhale, sit tall, and exhale, twist. Good. Inhale, let's come on back, and exhale, extend those legs. Inhale, extend the arms, and exhale, roll back until you reach your back. Good. Once you're there, bend the knees, place them on the ground very close to your hips. Again, hip width or slightly wider, but at least hip width. When I see people in person, they very often have their feet too close together, so maybe wider than you think, okay? From there, we press into the feet and lift the hips up, interlace fingers and join palms, shrug one shoulder under and then the other. This is the bridge. Now, today wasn't a back bend focus class, but some people have really flexible spines and open shoulders and hips, and it's easy for them to do deep back bends. So if you want to do the wheel, you are welcome to. I'm not going to. I'm just going to stay here and bridge, but either one is fine. Okay, exhale, we gradually come back down. And then just let your knees knock, take a breath. And you can let your knees drop side to side a few times, releasing the back, twisting the spine a bit, rocking the hips. And then when you're done with that, Apanasana, which is hugging the legs. We started with this one, remember? So just give those legs a squeeze. You can even wrap your arms around if you like. All right, from there, let's do a twist. So arms out like wings, and let's do the same twist we started with. So the right knee over the left, and then the knees drop down to the left. And let's just notice if anything has changed, anything feels any different. There's no right answer here when it comes to that question. It's just a legitimate, open-minded question. We did a lot of twisting. We did some other work. Has anything shifted or changed in terms of how the body feels? Good. Let's inhale those knees back to center. We'll switch legs and we drop them down to the other side. Okay, let's inhale knees back to center. And we'll unwind onto the back, heels apart, palms up, head centered, chin tucked in slightly. Now grab a timer or your phone and set it for 5 minutes. And as usual, with this class in particular, I recommend you at least give yourself 5 minutes of stillness. If you'd like to go longer, feel free. but I wouldn't do any less than 5 minutes, okay? All right, everyone, thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed that. If there are any questions about anything, as always, feel free to reach out. Let me know. I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'll have to see you on Friday for